wind outskirts. The area had been overrun by mutants long ago, rendering it seemingly uninhabitable. It was the ideal place for a challenge. Nothing seemed to have changed since my previous life. This was a land forsaken, a wasteland. Back then, I had stumbled upon a hidden level W mutant with superior speed and agility, guarding an extremely rare piece of blue equipment. The thought made me pause, memories flooding back. Suddenly, I felt an odd paralysis, making me highly alert. Something was approaching from behind. I quickly turned toward its direction. A demon-like creature stood there, enraged. It rushed at me with terrifying speed, closing the distance in an instant. From above, it came crashing down, its grotesque, mutated mouth wide open, revealing hideous features that made it a nightmare to behold. Faced with such a revolting creature, I knew I had to act fast. I readied myself to show this insect my ultimate biological technique, dissection. Luckily, it was just a mutated zombie. If it had been a crawler, my carelessness could have ended badly. Fighting in this intoxicating swamp would be troublesome if I didn't stay on guard. I knew I had to change locations quickly, but without realizing it, a creature was already watching me, lurking in the shadows. When I fought the climber in my past life, I was a level 2 awakener. Even with the blue equipment I had, I still ended up with serious injuries. Even with the strength and power of a level 2 awakener, it wasn't enough. If I had been just a split second slower, I could have been torn to pieces in an instant. If I remember correctly, the climber should be around here, but something caught my attention. Did I miss this area in my previous life? It seems like the perfect spot to set up a trap. Due to the large area and couple spots to hide, this could give me more chance for victory. An elite mutant suddenly appeared, catching me by surprise as it launched an attack at neck-breaking speed. I barely managed to dodge it, leaving me in a dangerously precarious situation. I had to deal with this threat quickly before the real danger, the climber, appeared. The sharp iron I had prepared finally pierced the mutant, giving me a brief moment to assess the situation. But then, I felt something approaching at incredible speed. My instincts screamed danger, and a system notification confirmed it. The level 2 mutant climber was closing in. Realizing the incoming threat, even the elite mutant seemed terrified, understanding just how dangerous the climber was. I found myself caught between these two monstrous foes, completely alone. The climber rushed toward me, moving so fast that I lost sight of it for a brief moment. When it finally landed where I had been standing, I narrowly evaded its strike. It was faster than I remembered. The only thing that gave it away was its shadow, but that was little comfort. Its attacks had become unpredictable. While I could still dodge the elite mutant's assaults, the climber's strikes could only be resisted. A trap was pointless, as the climber's area of attack was far larger than before. Though I had come here to test my skills, the current situation had grown dangerously unpredictable. Using my sword technique, Storm Tempest, would certainly improve my chances. However, it wouldn't be enough to clear the field in a single move. The climber behind me was simply too fast to be caught by the Storm Tempest alone, but this was difficult despite to evade to elite monsters with my insufficient strength. The only skill that stood a chance in this situation was my recently acquired Heavenly Light Rift, which focused on a single target. But Aomathing ringed a bell when I recalled that the Heavenly Light Rift had an extra passive after relaced. It was accompanied with Sword Aura. I quickly increased the distance between myself and the climber, though not by much. I wasn't entirely sure of the range of the Sword Aura just yet. If nothing unexpected happened, I could add the length of my arm, combined with the reach of my blade, plus the Sword Aura. That should be enough to strike both mutants at the same time. And if that's the case, behold, Sword Heavenly Light Rift. What the absolute? Did I just kill both of those elite dog-shit mutants? I exclaimed in disbelief. Indeed, Heavenly Light Rift is such a damn good attack skill. Not only does it have a limb-crushing effect on its first hit, but combined with the Sword Aura, its power has a regional impact. This was a valuable discovery, despite the risk of facing such formidable foes. Even though this skill had been enhanced to the Supreme tier, I still hadn't been able to activate its passive abilities. This skill definitely needs further study. Although I took a gamble, the rewards were truly worth it.
A few minutes later.
Back at the Heavenly Wind safe zone, at the military guard station, the guard in charge of detecting power fluctuations was stunned when he noticed an enormous power spike, one unlike anything he had ever seen before. Alarms blared, and the other guards, startled by the sudden sound, rushed over and asked, What's going on? Why did the alarm suddenly ring? An abnormal energy fluctuation was detected, the guard reported, his voice tense. It's confirmed. This is the signature of a level 3 awakener, and the activity is happening in the suburbs. We need to take action immediately. This was odd for the Heavenly Wind military. They hadn't deployed any of their level 3 awakeners, so the possibility remained. Was this someone from another safe zone? Uncertain and on high alert, they quickly dispatched a team to the site where the battle had taken place between me and the two elite monsters. The residual psychic energy level was at least 4,000, an unheard of amount. Such power could only be released by a mid-level 3 awakener, and to unleash that kind of force without being paralyzed on the spot was remarkable. This warranted an emergency alert, and the situation needed to be reported to the commander immediately.